Trigger warning, this video might brain rot and also spoil all of 2024 films. You've been warned. 2024, what a year. Was it a year for you guys? I don't even know. It wasn't that good. We didn't get that many films. Star Wars was kind of sucking. Marvel, thank God, it's kind of sucking. And eggs, they're too expensive for me to suck. Elon Musk, he sucks. He's in our Oval Office. The execs in these companies are deciding to say, let's do How to Train Your Dragon in live action. But no, Coyote vs. Acme, not a thing. Trisha Paytas is on Broadway. Good for her, you know? I don't even know what to say. And Jake Paul is the United States champion. Like, you know, it's a weird year when two of the most canceled people are back at full force. And guess who's supposed to be canceled and is still alive? Emilia Perez. I ain't no bird, but I have an idea. And that idea as to why this is all happening, I think might rip your butthole into two. It is.
Son, you know, once you start, there's no going back.
I know.
This means total commitment. Once you begin the path, there is no leaving the path. Are you sure you're ready for that? I mean, really ready?
I guess so.
It is the Come On effect. So, what is the Come On effect? The Come On effect was caused by Tashi Duncan. Yes, that lady from Challengers. Do you guys remember the ending of Challengers? All of a sudden it went black right when Art and Patrick started hugging. We don't know what happened after the Come On. That's what we're trying to say. Right when the movie ended, a portal broke through the movie and appeared right in front of Tashi Duncan. It's not a coincidence that the film ended exactly like that. It kind of had that similar effect as like 11 touching a Demogorgon. Do you guys remember that show when season 1 it was really good and all of a sudden it's just become fan service? So because she touched the Demogorgon, they were supposed to be only in the Upside Down, but because of that touch, the Upside Down has now merged with reality. So take that same concept, put it into Tashi and wrap it around. That's what her yell did. So Tashi opened up a dark magic portal. And what does she see? She sees a portal entering into every film of Zendaya's career. She sees Marvel. She sees Dune. She sees Shake It Up. She sees it all. So what would Tashi do, right? This is not a good year for her. She can't play tennis. Her two boyfriends are not really playing too well. And one of them is actually retiring. If I was her, I would probably fuck some shit up. That's what she does. And she goes into one of the most randomest films I can imagine Tashi going into, and that is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, trying to call up the scariest man ever, Mr. Snap, Thanos. So you remember that one quote by Martin Scorsese where he's like, Marvel's not cinema? Now think about this. Doesn't it add a whole new layer to his quote? That now Tashi Duncan has opened a portal going into Marvel's world.
You could not live with your own failure.
We're about to find out, honey. We just got started, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, people interpreted that completely wrong. They thought he was just shitting on Marvel, trying to say that it's not cinema. But he's actually trying to tell us that Marvel is reality, that it's the truth. It's showing us that portals exist and that they're currently affecting our reality. Don't you think it's a little weird that this year's films have characters played by the same actors but with a different aura about them? Hollywood tries to act like we're just watching actors on the stage, but we know that they're actually the characters themselves, entering into other films and trying to act like we don't notice. In fact, Hollywood itself has an inside team that we know as the Academy. Even though we perceive them as a group of esteemed individuals who simply vote for what films they think deserve to win the Oscar.
There's a lot of love in this room, and let's use it to create and champion bold and diverse work that inspires us towards Moonlight, Best Picture.
They're actually a council that is in tune with all that is happening in the fictional world. That very same fictional world that is now plagued with chaos due to Tashi Duncan, causing wars in films that we are not even aware of.
This kind of reminds me of a film called Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yeah, it seems like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is like a documentary. I wouldn't expect it. Like 2024, Trisha Paytas breaking through reality, entering into fiction, and making Broadway. And then we have Who Framed Roger Rabbit, a documentary. It's kind of funny to think about Tashi going into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm sure she knows that there was a war that was happening in that world as well. We have the snap effect, and what's so cute about the Thanos snap is that it only affected in the Marvel world. Yeah, okay, Marvel gets its flowers from both the fictional and reality because, hey, that Thanos snap, it just made us get a little emotional. But Tashi is breaking the seams. The MON effect is much different. It creates glitches into the fictional world where Thanos can come into Dune 2, looking like Gurney. He can just change the whole flow of the film, and that's really bad. And that's like a lot like this film called The Lax Action Hero.
A magic ticket
It's a passport to another world.
will get Danny closer to the action than anyone ever dreamed.
Holy cow! I'm in the movie!
Who the hell are you?
Don't shoot me! I'm Danny Madigan, I'm a kid!
This is a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger can break through the seams of the theatric projection and go into the reality and potentially change our timeline.
Hey, if you get to Los Angeles, call my office. We can get your shopping center openings. Look, I don't really like you, all right? You brought me nothing but pain.
And that timeline is not so good. And that's why we need Emilia Perez to win the Best Picture. If we don't, our current timeline will descend into even more madness. Lilith, let's focus on Tashi right now. How did this all start?
So when Tashi Duncan screamed, "Come on," she caused the three main characters, Art, Patrick, and herself, to leave their world by entering a portal that accidentally pushed them out into films like Bike Riders, La Quimera, and Dune. Okay, so let's break down where each character is and how it affects the films, right? Challenger's Mike Feist, aka Art, stumbled into Bike Riders, but because he already wanted to move away from tennis, we saw him like Tashi had to force him to be in that final game. He became a photographer in Bike Riders. But poor Art doesn't realize that behind the scenes, Tashi is watching over. Tashi notices Austin Butler in Bike Riders, also known as Benny, and she uses her siren song to serenade him. Remember, she has powers. She serenades the guy into Dune, and this makes total sense. Okay, you know why? Because Benny disappeared in the latter half of the film and then reappeared. Tashi is smart though, because she didn't want to raise any eyebrows, any questions, so she left a dummy version of him. Why do you think he's so quiet? So yes, Art accidentally created Fade Rautha. And yes, Benny from Bike Riders is Fade Rautha. They are the same person. You know what they say? Quiet ones are always the secret psychos.
What do you think like Austin Butler, the actual actor, is thinking? Like, he didn't actually do this. This is Benny.
I mean, why else do you think he doesn't remember his actual voice? We tend to blame it on him mimicking Elvis and forgetting, but I solely believe that because he was brainwashed by Tashi and thrown into these different films and dimensions, homeboy lost his identity. Like, he doesn't even know how he sounds. He can't recall his own voice. That's not normal. That ain't method. That's portal trauma.
Will it eventually go? Have you tried to get rid of it? Have you gone to a speech therapist or anything?
No, I mean, the thing is, what did you sound like before?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
So Austin Butler wasn't the only victim of this timeline opening in Bike Riders. It was actually happening during the exact same time that Bob Dylan existed. And remember the film this year that came out called The Complete Unknown? Well, Bob Dylan, aka Timothée Chalamet, was also lured into that exact same Dune portal, merging with Timothy, who evolved into Paul Atreides.
How the hell is Tashi persuading Bob Dylan to come? Like, what, with a harmonica? Like, what is he doing? What is she doing?
Nothing. She's just Tashi. I mean, you saw how she can control two white boys around her freaking pinky.
So what happened to Josh? Where's Josh at?
Patrick was kind of lucky. He found himself in La Chimera, so he's in Italy. And he's the exact same bum, you know, same outfit, looking a little sweaty, a little dirty. Except now he knows artifacts in Italian. But the fantasy didn't really last too long because we hate to say it, R.I.P. Patrick. He died in that film.
Wow. I feel like we're not really talking about how in La Chimera, Patrick was also seeing this girl. He was also chasing this woman that he saw in a distant memory in his past. And I don't know, like now knowing this theory, to me that wasn't his lover. That was Tashi. He was subconsciously searching for Tashi and he didn't even realize it. And it's so sad that moment when he finally found the woman, he's dead. I don't know. I think Tashi wanted this at the end of it. Art is the one that's going to explore the world, doing little photos, and he dies. Okay, so we know what happened to Patrick. Rest in peace. Love you, man. We know what happened to Art. What about Thanos? Where's Josh Brolin in all of this?
So I don't know about you, but I remember Josh Brolin, aka Gurney, dying in Dune 1. Like, we don't even know what happened to him, but from the effects of those war, I just thought he was dead. But suddenly he's back in Dune 2, and he wants Timmy, aka Bob Dylan, to be the Lisan Al Gaib. And isn't it kind of a weird coincidence that Gurney likes to write songs and is into poetry? Who else is like that?
The still suit is full of piss. My hand is caked in sand. Save me from these utter morons. Another world, another land.
Bob Dylan. Okay, Thanos, we see you. We see your Thanos. We know you regretted snapping Spider-Man out of existence because Tashi was mad. You took her man out in the dimension, so she said, I'm gonna use you to make Timothy, my new twink, into the Lisan Al Gaib.
Price to pay for salvation.
You think I came here for you?
I'm glad you found that twink, Tashi, because he has the evil potential that you were seeking. And he's just not gonna get you Wimbledon. This twink is gonna get you the whole universe. Other signs in Dune that hint to Tashi's influence is that Paul Atreides keeps seeing Chani, which sounds a lot like Tashi if you ask me, before he's met her, but he can't remember why. Like, the entire first film is just literally just Paul Atreides seeing Chani, and then suddenly in the second one, she just comes out of nowhere and is not supportive, but literally leads to his destiny. I mean, the blue liquid he drank it because of her. Also, she rides off into the sunset at the end of the film, but we think it's her being butthurt that she didn't get chosen and he went for Princess Illyrian at the end. But no, we know that Tashi doesn't get upset by white boys. She's just trying to run away from the academy, as we mentioned, who's police, for her crimes.
Wow. Honestly, I would run away too. I would just be scared shitless, but I'm not Tashi. Tashi's the one that can ride on a worm, and God bless her for that. We talked about her influence in the world, how she's potentially destroying it, but that running away leads into a cause and effect in other worlds. Now, this is where we get into the trios and the duos, and how these dynamics revolve around the films of 2024. So, trios and duos, let me give you a quick example. Trios would be Challengers and Dune, because those deal with love triangles. Duos would be something like Tashi, watching two people affect one another in Challengers. Hey, I mean, I watched that film, and it gave me this unexplainable urge to, see films that are like that. And I'm sure for other people as well. It created this unintentional crave for films that mimic Tashi's position, which is, in a way, a manipulative watcher. We are watchers like Zendaya, the twos, the threes, and the glitches in between. So let me give you more examples of some twos. We have Wicked. We have Problemista. We have The Room Next Door. Nickel Boys. How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. Billy and Molly. We have Sing Sing. We have A Real Pain. We have The Substance, The Apprentice, The Look Back. A Memoirs of a Snail and Long Legs. And what's funny is that there's more films that play into these duos. They use this for their marketing. They're smart. Joker number 2, or Joker Due 2, whatever the heck it is. Juror number 2. Gladiator 2. This Is Me Now, which is a part 2 of This Is Me Then. We have DD twice. And we have Beetlejuice twice. And then we have Long Legs, which is AKA, you have 2 legs. So 2. So then the 3s. Who do I pick? Picking a side. The trinities we see in 2024 films are not just cliche love triangles. It's not just choosing between the less toxic partner. The 2 choices are life-altering. For example, we got a film like Anora. We have films like Nosferatu. Who do I pick, the normal guy, or do I pick Nosferatu? We have Kinds of Kindness with 3 stories with alternating characters. We have Emilia Perez, which is a power of 3s. We have Wicked, which first started off as a duo, then all of a sudden turns into a trio. Hey, it's not a coincidence that these directors are trying to channel the same black magic that Tashi Duncan created. With this comes with some glitches. I brought up some questions in the beginning. Why the heck is Trisha Paytas in Broadway? Why the heck is Logan Paul a WWE champion? Don't you guys think this is a little bit of a glitch? Thanks, Tashi. Now let's look at 2024 films, the glitches of our year. We need to start questioning these films and ask, so Joker Folie à Deux is a musical? And he dies in his own film? We need to start questioning films of 2024. No one watched Furiosa. They didn't watch Sing Sing. Dune's not getting its flowers. And then we had Substance, a film about like this lady that takes medicine to create a unique persona, and how they're not listening to each other. That's a glitch. We have A Different Man seeing Oswald, and Oswald's tormenting him at the timing when he becomes a normal man. That's a glitch. Oswald's a glitch. Indiana Jones. What happened to his son? Oh, now he's in Megapolis? And then we got Gladiator 2. When the heck did Maximus have a son? Beetlejuice. What happened to Barbara and Adam? They're gone. Then we have Inside Out 2. Who asked for this? And especially, who asked for Lisa Frankenstein? These are all glitches. So now you're starting to believe us, right? Here's another thing. This year, in 2024, we've had 24 different actors in multiple different films. For you, this is a coincidence. For us, this is because of Tashi. So we're just gonna throw in a bunch of names in all their films right now. I'm gonna throw a quick couple. J.K. Simmons, Daisy Ridley, Willem Dafoe. We also have Austin Butler, Timothy Chalamet, Josh O'Connor, Mike Weiss, Zendaya. Then there's more. And for those who still don't believe us, let me give you some more proof. Do you guys remember the Succession siblings? Yeah, I do. And you know what happened? Because of Tashi's little wrongdoing, it created a ripple effect which led into other realities and fictions to break through. Kendall Roy, remember that one moment when he just strangled his brother's head? Guys, I think something happened. I think he squeezed his head so hard that he made a world where Jeremy Strong made Donald Trump his apprentice. I don't know. That's revenge. And if he can't have the company, then all of America should suffer economically. Kendall, you did it. Roman Roy, that scared little baby, ran away and fled to become a cousin of this former Facebook CEO. Isn't it weird how he has no recollection of his past? Yeah, it's because Roman Roy whispered in his ear to forget everything and to go to Warsaw. Makes sense to me. And then Shiv turned into an animation and became this lover of snails that can't realize that all the money that she spends on this stupid snail memorabilia could have been used to save her twin brother. Even in both fictional worlds, Shiv is sabotaging her brother. Good on ya. And now you guys are thinking we're crazy, right? Did you guys see the Oscars on nominations? Did you guys see who won the Golden Globes? Guess who's back? Roman Roy and Kendall Roy. Not a coincidence. But there's one film that I really cannot explain. I ask this question a lot, and I keep waking up from my slumber. How the hell is Hot Frosty a thing? Guys, ask yourself this question. How does a snowman turn into a man? I can't answer that question. And that is why Tashi Duncan created the glitch, the trios, and the duos, but she also created Hot Frosty. What?
I'm gonna say she also started a war.
And she also started a war. And Hot Frosty. So this war, is there any films that represent it?
I have a 2-word answer for you. Emilia Perez. Because you know who else heard Tashi's come on? Alex Russo, aka Selena Gomez. She's aware of the portal and how it opened and altered our reality. Emilia Perez is supposed to be a story of 2, but because of the glitch, aka Alex Russo, she entered into the story and it became a story of 3. But this glitch is actually Queen Wizard Selena Gomez attempting to save us all.
Some people are a gem, some people are a rat. To learn who's who, give me the ear of a bat.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If you look at the poster of Emilia Perez, guys, do you notice something? There's 2 guns. This movie was supposed to be a duo. I believe this completely. I believe that Alex Russo is a glitch, and she entered in this world, and it was supposed to be a duo film that's now a trio. Okay, so how the heck is Alex Russo aware of Tashi opening the portal?
Well, that's a very good question that I have an answer for. She is very well versed in the Disney universe because she's a part of the Mickey Kingdom that Tashi, aka Zendaya, is also in. In fact, Alex Russo is a descendant of the Russo brothers, the creators of Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. And do we remember why that's relevant? Thanos. They're even both Italian. Jerry Russo, Alex Russo's father, is their hidden brother. Do I smell another trinity here? Do you guys remember the song Shake It Up? That was the opening for a show that had Tashi and Zendaya in it. Who sang that song? Selena Gomez. I mean, listen to the lyrics.
You gotta change it up, and if the day's not right, just brush it off tonight. Put on your attitude, got in my pocket mood, and when you've had enough, just shake it up.
Shake it up? Tashi shook up this whole damn timeline.
Damn, this Mickey Kingdom is crazy. Okay, let's get back to what about this war? Who's Alex Russo even against?
The main character of Emilia Perez, of course, Zoe Saldana. She's also aware of the portal because not only is she in the Marvel universe, but she is Gamora, Thanos' daughter. Remember how the most recent version of Gamora had no recollection of her past? Yeah, well, Thanos and Tashi took advantage of how the snap had affected her, using her obligations for being in that bloodline for their gain. So now we have Team Zoe and Team Selena, good versus light. All of this is accumulating in Emilia Perez. Zoe is clearly bad, the descendant of Thanos in the fictional world. She's trying to keep this portal open to continue negatively altering our reality timeline. El Mal is an evil song. It's literally dark magic. She's chanting magic to keep that portal open. While Selena Gomez, Alex Russo, is singing Mi Camino, which coincidentally is the only actual song in Emilia Perez. Have you noticed? Those other songs are not songs. They're just them either whispering to a beat or saying El Mal like a freaking witch.
El Mal, I hate that song, but I like Mi Camino.
Alex Russo's trying to close the portal. So now we have Team Zoe and Team Selena, the light side versus the dark side. Tashi is a lot like Palpatine. She's the overlord, the puppeteer, using Zoe Saldana just like Palpatine used Vader for her gain. In fact, Wicked is inspired by this story. Elphaba is green like Gamora. Glinda has a wand like Alex Russo. and they are going against each other. There's even some challengers sprinkled in there, cause Fierro, Jonathan Bailey, becomes the love interest of both characters and further causes this competition and divide between them. Didn't we have Art and Patrick also divided by Tashi entering the picture? The duo, the friendship, Elphaba and Glinda, suddenly became a trio. This represents everything that we just discussed. This also explains why the Academy is punishing Luca Guadagnino and Denis Villeneuve, because they know that challengers in Dune allow Tashi to affect our timeline. That is why obvious choices like editing and soundtrack nominations for challengers were not given. Luca Guadagnino literally has no nominations for challengers this year, and Denis Villeneuve didn't even get Best Directing. Instead, they were neglected and subverted and exchanged and given to Emilia Perez. This is the only reasonable explanation as to why Emilia Perez is the second most nominated film of all time. I mean, how else do you explain that? The Academy's punishing them. They're practically under a guillotine by the Academy right now.
So Team Selena and Team Zoe, who's in their teams? I'm sure there's a bunch of options to play with.
Since Alex Russo's trying to close these portals, as she was journeying through these different 2024 movies, she started casting a team to help her go against Zoe. Team Selena, Wallace and Gromit, because the film is against AI. Team Zoe, though, has Wild Robot because it makes AI look good. It makes AI look like it can take care of a goose, which, no, I'll take care of a goose. Elizabeth Sparkle, trying to make it work out with the fitness videos. Sue coming in and twerking her way through fame. Elphaba versus Glinda. Edward, trying to have a makeover. Oswald coming in and flipping that makeover upside down. Sister Agnes, printing out facts, trying to keep that conclave alive. Flora, accidentally causing Patrick to die. Mutt Williams, Indiana Jones' son, versus Claudio Pulcher in Megalopolis. Ellen Sweetheart Thomas versus Nosferatu. Benny versus Fade Routha. Art and Patrick's ghost versus Bob Dylan, aka Lisan Al-Gaib. Martha versus Elizabeth, who still has her flashlight on till this day. Roman Roy versus Kendall Roy. Agent Lee Harker versus Longlegs. And last, but certainly not least, Lady Gaga versus Harley Quinn. And you might be thinking, isn't Lady Gaga a real person? No. Her newest song, Abracadabra, is an attempt to enhance the powers of Mi Camino. I mean, why else do you think she's saying spells? That whole song is a spell. Abracadabra, that's a spell, right? Like, it's the original spell. Alex Russo would know. Alex Russo would understand.
Now, I hope that you can all have a grasp of what 2024 films truly represent. I understand it was a wild year, but after this video, you can leave with that inside knowledge of what we discovered about Tashi and why Selena Gomez, aka Alex Russo, is regarded so highly. So guys, this is an ongoing story. You might think it's gonna end, but we'll see. We'll literally see March 2nd. So please, turn on your TV, patiently wait, and hope to God Emilia Perez wins Best Picture. And the last thing I'll say is, take this with a grain of salt, of course.